Earlier today, around 10:50 a.m., officers responded to the 7900 block of Tree Lane directly behind me in reference to shots fired. They found a subject who was suffering from multiple gunshot wounds, and they called EMS to have him treated. What I can tell you now is that he has very serious injuries, but we're going to update that very, very shortly. As you know, there's some procedural things that we have to do before we can update the condition of someone, and so we'll do that very shortly if you can hang on with us. Officers, as you can see, is a very active scene. We're canvassing the neighborhood. We're talking to people. We're looking at surveillance cameras, public space cameras, and even security cameras from some of our business partners and some of our residential partners. I can tell you that we are trying to develop suspects and suspect vehicles. The community has been great in kind of helping us determine what happened today. As you can see, it's broad daylight. It is spring break. There's a playground probably 100 feet from me, and these things certainly have no place in Madison. This is why we've been working very hard to take illegal guns off the street. If you remember last year, we recovered almost 340 illegal guns from off our streets, and this is why, so that we do not have these types of incidents. But I feel very confident in the progress of this investigation. I feel very confident that we will have a swift resolution to this particular case, and we ask for your patience. We do believe that we'll be able to brief you again later on today, either in person or in writing if you choose to do so, with further details about this case. But I will tell you this case is progressing very, very well. We have some of the best detectives, officers, and investigators in the business, and we look to give you another update by the end of the day. I'll take a few questions. If I can answer those, I can. If I can't, then I'm sorry. We will try to update you on those.
Chief, did the shooting take place right out here in the parking lot?
Yes, sir. The shooting did not take place inside the building. The shooting took place in the parking lot.
Did it stem from an altercation?
We don't know the motive of it until we can talk to more people who were involved, but those who may have seen it, looks like it was some type of disagreement between people who know each other.
Chief, do you have any suspects or person of interest right now that you know about you're going after? And is the public any harm right now or any concern?
Well, I think whenever there's a violent crime, everyone should be concerned, whether you live on this side of town or you don't. But what I can tell you is that we're working very hard to develop we're working very hard to develop suspects in this case, and we hope to have an update for you by the end of the day.
Can you talk about the significance of that white vehicle that was parked on the curb that was towed away?
I can't. Detectives are working on that. I'm not certain if it belonged to someone involved or if it belonged to the actual person who was struck by gunfire.
Chief, do you know if the victim is a resident here of Point Place?
I do not know that. No, I do not know that.
You mentioned illegal firearms. Were you able to recover the weapon used in this incident?
Well, I'm not going to speak to what we recovered today, but we'll give you an update on that. But we are recovering a lot of evidence, shell casings and things of that nature. As you know, we use NIBIN to try to see if there's any connection between any other shootings that we have. And we've been very successful at that. So we're still collecting a lot of evidence. As you can see, it's a very active crime scene, and I feel very confident that we're going to have a resolution to this very shortly.
Are residents in either of the buildings being asked to leave their apartments while the investigation goes on, or stay clear of the area for a certain amount of time?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we have the crime scene tape that we extended so they can leave from the outside of the crime scene tape. Those that have vehicles, we're asking those vehicles to stay put until we're done collecting evidence, just to make sure that, you know, there's no bullet fragments that may have went anywhere. Shell casings sometimes roll off, and so the best thing to do is to keep those in place. But our residents behind us have been extremely cooperative and working with us. No one in Madison likes violence. They don't like it in their community. And I will tell you, one of the things that I do love about this community is when things like this happen, you see people coming together. And so the administration, rental administration, has been great working with us on this and to ensure that, hey, they don't want this type of crimes and these types of incidents happening in their community at all.
You just said that you were confident that you would have this resolved shortly. Do you have a person of interest or suspect at this time?
I'm confident in the work of my detectives and investigators, and I'm confident that we're going to have this resolved shortly.
Chief, was there an exchange of gunfire?
Don't know if there was an exchange of gunfire yet. It's too early to be able to determine that. That will be determined by some of the evidence that we collect. Do we have multiple share cases or not? I'm not sure about that, but let us process it. Again, it's early on, 3 hours into the investigation. It's too early to draw any kind of conclusions. As you know, early information is sometimes wrong, and I would hate to have to walk anything back. So I'm going to...
know if there's anyone injured on top of this one person, or...
No, we do not have anyone else that's injured at this time that we know of. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.